Hi guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. All right, y'all. Happy Monday. It's Monday, and it's a winter wonderland here in the DC area. Yay! Okay, so let me get this started. Like, share, subscribe, all this stuff. It's free. Today I'm going to talk about Sarah and Jacob Hoggle, and you know how I do. I'm going to read what I've gotten from research. Okay, September 7th, 2014, Gaithersburg, Maryland. Just like any other day, Catherine Hoggle and her three kids, the eldest, age 5, Sarah, 3, and Jacob, 2, went to spend the day with Catherine's mother, Lindsay. According to Troy Turner, who's the father of all three kids, Catherine was not to be left unsupervised with the kids due to her mental illness. So apparently she had been diagnosed with schizophrenia. The symptoms of schizoaffective disorder included delusions, hallucinations, depressed episodes, and mania. Lindsay had gone out, and Catherine and the kids were left with Lindsay's husband, Randy. Catherine asked Randy for his keys so she could take Jacob for pizza. He agreed. Did he not know that she wasn't supposed to drive or be alone with the kids? Catherine left with Jacob and wasn't to return for 3 hours. While she was out, Lindsay returned home and asked where Catherine and Jacob were. She was immediately concerned because due to Catherine's disorder, she wasn't allowed to drive and she wasn't allowed to be alone with her kids. Randy and Lindsay didn't notify Troy because he was at work. They didn't want to worry him. So they went out to look, but she was nowhere to be found. Okay, so Catherine returned. She didn't have Jacob or any pizza. When they questioned her, she said she dropped him off at a friend's house to spend the night. Okay, what 2-year-old do you know that you drop off at someone's house to spend the night, other than a grandparent or an aunt or uncle or something? Lindsay and Randy believed her story. Were they born yesterday? Later that evening, Catherine, the oldest son, and Sarah returned back to Troy's house. Troy returned home later that night at around 1 a.m. on September 8th, 2014. So I think he works the later shift. So when he didn't find Jacob in his crib, it didn't raise suspicion because he would usually climb out of his crib and go into his older brother's room. So the next morning, Troy wakes up and he discovered that that neither Sarah nor Jacob were in the house. Catherine claimed she dropped them off at a new daycare center. Troy wasn't too concerned at the time and believed her until he learned that Jacob hadn't been seen since before the sleepover the night before. He then demanded Catherine take him to the daycare so they could pick the children up. She agreed and they left. He asked her for details, address, phone number. She was vague and she wasn't helpful. They drove around for hours before deciding to pick up the oldest son and dropping him off at Catherine's mom, Lindsay's house. I don't think any kid should be... My opinion, guys. Sorry. Troy then decided to bring the police in for help. Oh, apparently they dropped the oldest boy off at the grandmother's house, and then Catherine became upset, sad, irritated. Okay. So Troy was like, all right, we're going to the police in Germantown. That's it. And apparently right before, Catherine's like, oh, wait, I know where the kids are. But she asked, can we go to the Chick-fil-A? Because supposedly your medicine makes her tired and she needed a soda. So she goes into Chick-fil-A, she gets a soda, and she comes out quickly. She then asked if she could go back inside for a refill, which Troy said okay. But after some time, she wasn't back, so he was like, what the heck? So he goes in to look for her. Guess what? She was nowhere to be found. Saw that one coming. That's when he contacts the police finally. She was gone for 4 days. She was found by someone that recognized her from the news and contacted the police. Catherine then told the police, oh, I left the kids with a friend of mine. Her story then changed that she left them at a park. So the police go to this park to investigate to see if the kids had been there. And of course, based on their investigation, there was no evidence that they were at that. Catherine was charged with child neglect, and she was held at a psychiatric hospital to see if she was competent to stand trial. She was deemed incompetent, but they continued to work with her. Catherine's mom, Lindsay, and the kid's father, Troy, both said Catherine has told them that she is faking being incompetent. Faking being incompetent so she won't get prosecuted. Okay. So there continues to be like some ongoing things with the mother, and to where something about the state of Maryland, they have to drop the charges after a set amount of years or something. I don't know, y'all. But I really don't care about the mom, Catherine, because to be honest with you, she's a freaking piece of you know what. Anyone that's sitting there faking a mental health illness, which I have no doubt that she has a mental illness. It's been proven apparently. So, okay, so she has a mental illness, but faking that she's incompetent and telling her mom and Troy over the phone that I'm fine, I'm just faking it. I know how to play the system. I don't want to get prosecuted. You guys, I would love 5 minutes with her. Okay, so here we go. You know how this goes. I have a hard time when it comes to kids. I don't know why. I almost think like, oh, time out. If you hear a lot of noise in the background, I apologize. My neighbors are out, shoveling and shoveling. I hate snow. Okay, so I have a hard time with kids. I don't know if it's a mental block, but let me tell you what I was getting. Okay? Just because I can't directly connect with the children doesn't mean I can't get some things. Immediately before I even started working on this case, I was getting that I was feeling that this was like a planned thing. And I think it was really not well thought out, but I think that Catherine really, took a lot of time and energy and effort into planning what she was going to do. Okay. And I think the other child was supposed to be involved as well, but she had to make some changes at the last minute for whatever reason. That's what I was feeling. I remember this case because I live in the DC area. So unfortunately, I remember this case, and it tore my heart up then, and it tears my heart up now. Okay, so I feel like she set this plan into motion because she was just so angry. So she had been diagnosed with mental illness, but she was angry because, oh, you can't be alone with your kids, you can't drive, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I feel like her anger was targeted at Troy, the father of the kids. I think it was directly anger, not anger. It was directly at Troy, the father of the kids. I also think she knew that she could convince her mom's husband to let her take the car and take the kids. I think she knew she'd talk him into it, I feel like she deserves to be under the prison. First of all, her kids are gone. 2 of her 3 kids. I feel like the kids are gone. I feel like they've crossed over. And the sheer fact that she's pretending to be incompetent. The one good thing about our court system here in the United States is if you're incompetent, you go to to a psychiatric hospital, and you don't have to go through the trial, right? Which is great if you are in fact mentally ill. But with her, I just despise her because she's faking, just being a little wussy. Oof. 5 minutes with her, y'all. Sorry, guys, in my opinion. But if I could have 5 minutes with her, yeah. Okay. That was the other thing. Like, I'm really sorry that she has mental health issues, especially schizophrenia. It tends to mess up people's lives unless they get medicated and they stay on their medication. I have people in my family that have mental health issues, and it's sad. you know. But I felt from the beginning, even when I saw it on the news, I felt like she was completely lucid. So then there's a part of me that's like, did she really have schizophrenia? Yeah, who am I? But question that, y'all. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. So let's focus on the kids here. Um, I do feel like they've crossed over, which sucks because, had she have just given them to some, it would be so much better. They're still, you know what I mean, living and thriving, and maybe the dad could see them one day. Um, I hope that I'm wrong, but yeah, I feel like they were strangled because I felt like this is so hard, you guys. But I felt like these poor little kids were just like, you know, trying to breathe. Um, okay, so let me tell you what else I was seeing. Um, so I was seeing her with Jacob at a park, like a playground, and they were playing and having a good old time, having fun. Um, yeah, I think she took him to the park to play. And then I feel like she strangled him, and put him in water. Um, and I feel like when she had Sarah the next morning, she did the exact same thing. Um, I feel like they're in water, and I even feel, excuse me, and I even feel like, excuse me, maybe that water was right near the playground. So I'm wondering, and I feel like it's fairly close to like where they lived. Like I feel like it's really close to where they lived. Um, yeah, I was getting like now should have wrote it down. Dag on it. Two words, like an area. And for the life of me now, I can't remember what I was getting, and I knew I should have gotten up and wrote that down. It was. I felt like it was like a town, maybe. It was two words, and I felt like it was a town. And so my thinking was, okay, so maybe there's a park in this town in Maryland that had about a body of water. But I really feel like they're in water. Like I see them being put into water. I do. And like I said, I think it's like so close to their home. Um, but I don't know if it's close to Troy's home where they actually lived, or if it's close to Lindsay, the mom's home. I was just getting that it was close to the home. So, uh, guys, I cannot get those two words now for the life of me. Um, oh, that was the other thing. I felt like it was familiar to them. So maybe if Lindsay, or I'm sorry, maybe if Catherine had taken them to a park before. So I don't know, maybe the dad, Troy, knows of a specific area where she might have taken them. But you think, I mean, come on, the dad, I'm sure, has already had the police look there, but still, you guys, this was a hard one. Any reading involving kids is a hard one. This was really hard because I remember when it happened, and I remember the dad, just oh, my heart ached for him. But that's all I'm getting, you guys. And if I remember those two words, I'll like put it in the description or in the comments or something. So be nice, be kind, stay safe, stay healthy. Um, we had a friend that died when she got her second Pfizer vaccination. So just be careful, you guys. Okay, be careful. There's so much unrest in the DC area. So much. It's blowing my mind, you guys. So that about does it for me. Bye, guys.